Ah, look who returned. The mind that doesn't follow the game, it rewrites it. Stop. Pause everything, right now. Are you ready? Really ready? Look, the world has been watching you, whispering about you, shocked by your mere existence. They thought they knew what to expect. Age, presence, power. They assumed they had it measured, labeled, tamed. Ha! But here you are. You didn't arrive by accident. You didn't stumble into influence or charm. You are deliberate. Every step, every glance, every pause is calculated yet feels untouchable. And that unsettles them. Watch closely. They see your presence and it fractures their certainty. Every room you enter shifts, not with fear, not with alarm, but with the sudden realization that control is slipping from their hands. Conversations die mid-thought, eyes linger, minds race, and yet you do nothing. You simply exist, and existence, in your case, is a weapon. They cannot comprehend the weight of what you carry, because what you carry is invisible, silently, deliberate mastery. Your aura is proof of hours no one saw, choices no one dared to make, discipline forged in shadows unseen but unstoppable. They recoil, not out of hatred, not out of envy, but because your presence is an anomaly. It is impossible to measure, impossible to contain, impossible to predict. They try. Oh, how they try. They whisper, they speculate, they chase patterns. But patterns die when confronted with chaos refined into purpose. You are chaos mastered, intention incarnate, a force they cannot touch, and they hate it. They hate that you don't ask permission to exist, that you don't seek approval, that your very being rewires their assumptions. Pay attention now, because the real power is not in what they see. It is in the invisible armory, the patience, the restraint, the silent rituals they cannot fathom. And in this moment, as they gape and stumble and whisper, you smile quietly. You know the truth. Their shock is your creation. The tension, the awe, the disbelief. It is the echo of your calculated will. They wanted predictability. They hoped for normalcy. But you bent reality to your strategy. Every gaze cast at you is a confession. Every murmur of doubt, a surrender. They can't own you, can't label you, can't predict you. And the lesson? They never will. They try to rationalize you. They say it's luck. They say it's timing. They say it's chance. But chance does not build empires. Chance does not bend reality. You didn't rely on the stars aligning or on the world giving you permission. You engineered every moment, every move, every perception, and that unsettles them more than anything. Watch. They thought they could predict the sequence of your life, map it, contain it, label it, but prediction dies when faced with intent forged into action. You are not random. You are not passive. You are the unseen, hand that moves the pieces before anyone even notices the game has begun. Every glance you cast, every pause, every gesture, they feel it before they see it. A ripple, a tremor in the air that disrupts expectation. They attempt to categorize you, to define you, to make sense of what they cannot measure, and every failed attempt strengthens your legend. They whisper, "How does someone do it? How is it possible?" And you smile silently, knowing they have already witnessed the truth. They are powerless to replicate it. Your mastery is quiet, invisible, relentless. It is patience, sharpened like a blade, restraint hardened like steel, focus drilled until instinct and strategy are indistinguishable. And they are still chasing, still trying, still hoping that one misstep exists, one crack you've hidden, but there is none. Every calculated decision, every silent preparation, every unseen sacrifice has fortified you beyond their reach. Their disbelief is a mirror, reflecting your control. They cannot touch it, they cannot comprehend it, and they will never measure it. Every second they linger, trying to analyze, trying to predict, Trying to rationalize, they prove your dominance. The world expects patterns, rules, limitations. But you are beyond all that. You are the anomaly, the glitch in their reality, the impossibility that refuses definition. They crave chaos. They hope for stumble. Yet all they find is order disguised as unpredictability. You are the architect of perception and the structure they can never dismantle. And now, feel it. Every room you enter shifts. The air bends around you, subtle at first, almost invisible, yet undeniable. They notice it before they even see it. A glance freezes, a conversation falters, eyes dart, trying to read you, to predict you, to understand the force they cannot reach. But you remain untouchable, unshaken, composed beyond comprehension. Every movement is deliberate, every breath a signal, every silence a message. Control is absolute. They think strength is physical, visible, measurable. True strength lives in patience. True power exists in restraint. True mastery is invisible until it moves, and when it does, it rewrites their understanding of possibility. They feel the gap between expectation and reality. They feel the tension, the weight of unseen strategy, the echo of choices made when no one was watching, and that, their inability to grasp it, is your victory. Every attempt to contain you, to predict you, to define you, crumbles. Every miscalculation they make only reinforces your authority. You have sculpted perception. You have engineered awe. They may call it luck, talent, or genetics, but they are wrong. Every second, every silent hour, every calculated step, they are the bricks that built your empire of presence. They cannot touch it, they cannot break it, and they will never replicate it. You didn't stumble into this. You designed it. You didn't hope for it. You demanded it. You are the storm they cannot foresee, the chess move they cannot counter, the presence that bends the game board itself. And now, as they stare, as they whisper, as they falter, you smile silently, because they've learned the hard truth. Presence is power, but intent is unstoppable. They try to label you, to fold you into their predictable boxes, patterns, rules, expectations. But you are chaos perfected. You are the anomaly they cannot digest. Every glance they cast is a reflection of their failure to understand. Every whisper of doubt only amplifies your silent dominance. You've bent reality, reshaped perception, redefined the way the world measures strength. And here's the truth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a twist of fate. Every move, every decision, every calculated pause has been intentional, a deliberate forging of presence into power. They sense it before they see it. A tension in the air, a subtle disruption in rhythm. Their minds race to predict the impossible. But it doesn't work. You've already played 5 steps ahead. Their assumptions collapse the moment you move. And when you smile, silently, knowingly, it's not arrogance, it's inevitability. You exist in a dimension where ordinary rules do not apply, where mastery is not recognized until it manifests. And it does, over and over, reshaping the world in ways they can feel but cannot explain. Their awe becomes their reverence. Their shock becomes your echo. They cannot comprehend it, and that's precisely why it works. Because every eye that tries to follow you, every mind that tries to measure you, every expectation that waits to be satisfied, you break it before it even forms. You didn't win by chance. You rewired reality. You rewired perception. You rewired the rules, bending the game board to your strategy. And now, the world is forced to pay attention. They watch, helpless, as your strategy unfolds like a master stroke they could never anticipate. Every step you take isn't just movement. It's a signal, a declaration that chaos has a method, and that method is yours. They believe they've calculated the possibilities, mapped the outcomes, predicted the rhythm, but you've already rewritten the rules. Their disbelief fuels your presence. Every misjudged glance, every faltered reaction. They are instruments amplifying your legacy. You exist in the gap between expectation and reality, a place where ordinary minds cannot tread. And in that gap, power consolidates. Every decision you made in silence, every night spent sharpening the edge of your mind, every moment of restraint they never saw. It all converges here. They feel it in the air, in the subtle gravity that pulls attention toward you, in the instinctive respect that cannot be commanded, but is demanded simply by the way you exist. You are untouchable because you've cultivated yourself beyond replication. They can mimic appearances, they can imitate gestures, but the unseen armory of strategy, patience, and relentless focus, they cannot touch. And the beauty of it is this: they will never see it coming. You didn't stumble into dominance, you engineered it. You shaped the world to your will by first shaping yourself through discipline. And now they stand in awe, staring at a reality they cannot control, a presence they cannot challenge, a mind that refuses limitation. Their shock isn't your weapon, it's the mirror, reflecting the inevitability of your ascent. And as the room trembles under the weight of your strategy, one truth becomes undeniable. Reality itself is malleable, and you are the force shaping it. Every whisper, every sideways glance, every attempt to measure you, they fail. They try to quantify the unquantifiable, to define what refuses definition. But your presence has become a force field of inevitability. They wanted patterns, they wanted rules, they wanted predictability, and what you gave them instead: precision in chaos, order in disorder, mastery where they expected randomness. Every calculated move you make resonates beyond the immediate moment. It echoes in their minds long after you leave, forcing them to reckon with a reality they cannot comprehend. They thought they were the players, the strategists, the ones in control. But you, yes, you, have turned the game board into your own creation. You didn't win by luck. You didn't rely on chance. You shaped reality to your strategy, sculpting it in silence while they were busy chasing shadows. And now they see it.
Their disbelief is palpable.
Their astonishment is proof. You are a living paradox, deliberate yet untouchable, unseen yet unavoidable, calm yet devastating. They feel the weight of your choices, the inevitability of your actions, the precision of your foresight, and the most powerful part, they'll never fully grasp it. They can observe, they can speculate, they can whisper doubts and imagine cracks, but the truth, they cannot touch. The real power lies in what they cannot see, the countless hours of sharpening your mind, training your instincts, refining your strategy in solitude. That is your hidden dominance. And as they try, helplessly, to chase it, you continue, unstoppable, rewriting the rules of the world in real time. Notice how the room shifts when you enter, not because you announce yourself, not because you demand it, but because presence has a gravity all its own. They sense it instinctively. Every gesture you make, every deliberate pause, every measured breath is a statement of control, a testament to mastery. They scramble to understand, to place you within their familiar frames, but you refuse to fit. You are not a puzzle they can solve. You are the force that reshapes the board itself. And while they fumble, miscalculate, and whisper theories behind your back, you move forward, undisturbed, knowing that every choice you've made, every strategy you've executed, is reinforcing a reality that belongs solely to you. They try to predict your next step, to anticipate the consequences of your actions. But their maps are obsolete. You've rewritten the coordinates. Your mind has bent the rules of the game to your will. And now, as they watch, a mixture of awe and fear washes over them. They thought influence came through power, through noise, through spectacle. They were wrong. Influence comes through the invisible currents you command, the quiet intensity, the relentless focus. the invisible strings of strategy that no one else can trace. And while they continue to chase shadows, you continue to craft the future, unseen but undeniable, unstoppable but subtle. They are spectators in your world, and every movement you make reminds them of one undeniable truth. Mastery cannot be borrowed, it cannot be faked, it cannot be caught, it must be forged. And you have forged it into something the world will never forget. They want a story, a pattern, a reason to make sense of your presence. But you are not a story. You are the storm behind the calm, the calculated chaos that no one can touch. Every glance you cast carries weight. Every silence you allow ripples through the room like a pulse, a signal they cannot decode. And the beauty of it? They never realize that every move they envy, every power they fear, was earned in the shadows, in moments when no one was watching. You have built your empire of control without fanfare, without applause, without the world noticing, until now. And now they feel it. A shift, a subtle tremor beneath the surface of what they thought they knew. You have bent reality, not through luck, not through chance, but through deliberate strategy. Every action, every word, every thought was a move on the invisible chessboard they can't even see. And while they scramble to catch up, you continue, calm, precise, untouchable. They whisper, they murmur, they theorize, and in doing so, they confirm what you already know. Mastery leaves a mark long after you've walked away, and that mark is not recognition. It is awe, it is fear, it is the reminder that no one, ever, can replicate the invisible currents you command. The world may try to measure you, to label you, to contain you, but they fail. Every glance, every pause, every silent calculation, they feel it, but they cannot act on it. Because what you have built, what you have manifested, exists on a level beyond their comprehension. And in that incomprehensibility lies your ultimate power, the quiet dominion of influence. The room bends around your presence. Minds stretch, assumptions fracture, and yet you walk forward. Steady, patient, and inevitable. No one can touch what is disciplined, what is deliberate, what is honed into instinct. And as they watch, they feel it, an energy, a truth, a force that the world just cannot contain. And now, they start to question everything they thought they knew. Every rule they followed, every expectation they held, every line they drew in their mind. They crumble under the weight of your presence. You did not stumble into influence. You engineered it. Every choice, every sacrifice, every moment spent sharpening your mind and instincts has converged into this undeniable force. They can see it, they can feel it, but they cannot grasp it. And that's the beauty of your reality. You are not defined by their perception. You are defined by your intent, your vision, your relentless execution. They chase shortcuts, they envy, they wish, they plot, and all you do is move forward, silent, calculated, unyielding. The energy you carry is not loud. It is not flashy. It is precise, focused, and magnetic in its inevitability. Every interaction becomes a mirror, reflecting your discipline back to the world, showing them what they cannot achieve. And as they try to imitate, to follow, to predict, they fail. They cannot endure what you have endured. They cannot commit to what you have committed. They cannot hold what you have forged. And so, while they stumble, while they question, while they whisper in disbelief, you rise. Each step is measured. Each glance is deliberate. Each pause is loaded with silent authority. You have become a standard, a force, a presence that the ordinary cannot define or contain. And as they watch, as they murmur, as they attempt to decode, they realize something essential. You do not compete. You transcend. You are the game, and the board itself bends to the strategy you have executed without hesitation, without apology, without limit. Every shadow they cast, every doubt they whisper, every failed prediction. They are all confirmations of your inevitability, and as they struggle to understand, you simply exist, untouchable, unshakable, unforgettable. And now the world pauses, even if just for a moment, to recognize what cannot be ignored. Every gaze that lingers, every whisper that spreads, every fleeting thought, they are all traces of the impact you've left behind. You didn't win by chance. You didn't stumble into mastery. You bent reality itself to your strategy. The laws they live by, the boundaries they believe are unbreakable, the patterns they trust, they all fracture in your orbit. Your mind, your presence, your choices, they rewrite the rules. And here's the ultimate truth they cannot touch. Your power was never external. It was always internal. Every silent victory, every unseen hour of discipline, every moment of self-command. They built a force no one could predict. No one could stop. No one could replicate. And as they try, as they falter, as they doubt, your reality only strengthens. You move with purpose, with intent, with clarity. The chaos they see is nothing compared to the calculated precision behind it. You are not simply present, you are inevitable. Every room you enter bends subtly to your will. Every eye that meets yours registers the magnitude of what they cannot measure. And yet, it is not arrogance. It is mastery. It is the quiet, unrelenting certainty of someone who has refused to surrender to mediocrity, to expectation, to limits imposed by others. The whispers of awe, the trembling of comprehension, the subtle fear, they are not your burden, they are your mirror. They show what your presence has done. It shattered illusion. It rewrote perception. It defined legacy. And so, as they watch, as they murmur, as they try to understand, you remain untouchable, unstoppable, unforgettable. This is not luck. This is strategy. This is intent. This is you bending reality to the shape of your vision. And as the echoes of your presence linger long after you leave, one truth remains crystal clear. The world just felt your legacy, and they will never, ever forget it.